Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Esports Simulation League week number 3 here at Michigan International Speedway. I am Rob Slater, your host tonight, along with Frank Morales in the booth, and we have got a show for you tonight. 80 laps here at MIS. Tire wear is going to be a factor. Track temperature is going to be a factor. And pit strategy is definitely going to be a factor as we take 36 drivers, 80 laps here tonight, rolling off on the pole for tonight. Your winner from Daytona, that number 18, Casper Hagelscar, alongside him on the outside pole, starting that number 7 car. That's Basher Craven in that number 7. Starting in third at number 19, Antoine Bernoldi. Antoine Bernoldi starting in third place. Starting in fourth at number 86, Rich Pratchard. Rich Pratchard starting in fourth. Starting in fifth, that number 69 car. That's Earl Andretti. Earl Andretti put on a decent show last week. And starting in sixth position at number 92, he led a lot of laps at Daytona. Bobby Leo Moxon. Bobby Leo Moxon at number 92. Starting in seventh, that number 44 car, we saw him last week. Rocco Stallone. Rocco Stallone, the number 44. And to his outside, that number 5 car, Frank Wade. Frank Wade starting in 8th place tonight. Starting in 9th, that number 82, that's Dan Harrington. And in 10th, the number 40 of Doug Britton. That pace car's off. We're coming around turn number 4. Oh, he's not off yet. Looked like he was off. We're going now. That pace car's diving to the inside of turn number 4. It's in the hands of the flag man, and we are going green flag racing here at Michigan International Speedway. Tires definitely going to be a factor here today, so let's see who's aggressive. See if we get some 3 wide. Looks like Antoine Bernoli's going to look to the inside of Casper Hagelscar for the lead coming out of turn number 2. He's going to stay way down low, and it looks like we got 2 and 3 wide racing all the way back through the pack. And 19 falls back, but that 7 goes forward. Oh, look at Bobby Leo Moxon taking the middle to go to the lead. Coming out of turn number 4, new leader, number 92, Bobby Leo Moxon. Casper Hagelscar going to hold on to second. Frank Wade moving up into third in that number 5 machine. And we are side by side all the way back through the field. See, working that middle side, that 210, that's your points leader, Austin Knight, trying to make his way up to the field here early. Getting by Antoine Bernoli in that 19 and working on that number 82, Mr. Harrington. Aiden Davis shooting the center, moving up. A lot of momentum, a lot of draft here at Michigan, going 3 wide. We're taking a look here at Dustin Slider's Mustang. Coming across the line in 13th position at the moment. Finished 15th last week, so he's running in a little better than he was last week. Fresh tires means fast times for these guys. They're going 3 wide, bump drafting down that 96 and 24 right on each other's tail. And they're going to shoot the center. Look at that. Look at how much momentum that 24 had compared to the rest of the field there as he went off into the corner with that drafting partner behind him. So I'll have to wonder if this is going to be a 2-partner race or if this is going to stay mixed altogether. Because if you get a drafting partner, you definitely could gain some ground on the others. Looking at the tail of the field, and all we have is 2 and 3 wide all over the place. Cars dipping and diving and dragging down the back straightaway. It looks great from where I'm sitting. 85 is going to try to shoot the center. And we're 4 wide, almost 4 wide here in Michigan on lap number 4. Bobby Leo Moxon in that 92 car still out in the lead. Basher Craven in second. Casper Hagelscar in third. Richard Pratchard has moved up into the 4th place position in that number 86 machine. And Austin Knight up to 5th in that 210. That Toyota looking strong today. We're going 3 wide, almost 3 wide for second. As these tires wear off, we should see it go a little further single file. But with this draft, who knows? We could see some side-by-side action this entire race. Looks like Austin Knight gets a little loose down on the inside. But it's going to open up the door for that number 82 car, Dan Harrington. Harrington's going to move his way up into 4th. Now setting his sights on that number 7, but look who's coming out top. Richard Pratchard coming up in that number 86 car. He's going to take over that 4th place position. And he's going to set his sights on Basher Craven in that number 7 car. Looks like he's got a little bit more speed than that 7 does. We'll have to see how he handles it. Definitely looking to be a momentum track, and we've got 2 cars out front pulling away. That 92, Bobby Leo Moxon, and Casper Hagelscar in that 18 have got a little over a half a second on Basher Craven there in second now. But they're going to go side by side. Casper Hagelscar is going to look to the outside in turn number 1 and 2 on that 92. Coming out, he's going to have that run. He's going to look down to the inside, going into 3 and 4. Is he going to move up the track, or is he going to keep it side by side going 2-4? Move that number 18 to the lead. Casper Hagelscar taking that lead back from Bobby Leo Moxon as we come to a complete lap number 8. Frank Wade on the move up in 3rd. He's going to try to take advantage of these leaders moving. And now just look at that. 1 lap of battling gained up an entire second on the field. An entire second. Doug Britton in that number 40 car was running 4th a lap ago and was a full second behind your leaders. And now they are all nose to tail bunching up. And Bobby Leo Moxon's falling back to Frank Wade in that 5 car. We've talked about him a lot, but he hasn't gone up to the front quite yet. But here he is, running 2nd place, looking on the back bumper of that 18. A little bit further in the field, we see that number 91, Jamie Dobbs, all over the back bumper of Rusty Camoli in that number 64 Ford. Camoli's all over the number 9, Patrick Manning. Then Rusty Camoli almost won the Kansas race, but on some pit strategy, he came down the pit road and kind of surprised us all, and ended up with the 12th place finish there at Kansas, which is still a pretty decent run, but I'm sure he's planning on picking that up today. Take a look a little further back, halfway through the field. We got the number of battle between Brian Delp Jr. and Zachary Taylor in that number 24 car. Delp Jr.'s got Dylan Herviton in that number 22 machine raw all over his back bumper. And we see Tyler going around the outside of Stallone in that 44 machine. Stallone falling back a little bit. Like we said, this is all of a momentum track, so if these guys get out of the groove or get out of the draft just a little bit, they're going to be falling to the back. 11 laps complete here at Michigan. Clean and green, 3 wide. Javier Vasquez in that number 17 looking to take it 3 wide. Running 34th position. I don't know if that was a very smart move on his part, but he got her taken care of. He got the pass made. And now he's working on the number 23 car, Jordan Hack. A vicious battle for the lead, and look at this. It almost looks like they're pacing at 200 miles an hour, side by side, bumper to bumper. The number 5, new leader, Frank Wade, in that number 5. He's going to take the point with 12 laps completed here. And who is that we got in second? Is that the number 69 of Earl Andretti? I believe it is. Earl Andretti's got himself up to second position. Oh, and the 86 and the 15 just about get together. The 15 falling back from that incident. He was up to fifth. And here comes the rest of the pack coming to check out the leaders. They thought they were going to get away, but I guess not. Earl Andretti all over the back bumper of that 5. Running a lower line than the 5, so maybe he's got a little bit more speed. But the 86 looking to the inside of that 69 now. Rich Pratchard wants something to say about it. First 5, single file, but we got a battle for the lead. Earl Andretti now makes a move to the inside down the front stretch. New leader, number 69, but that 5 is going to battle on the outside. No, he's going to fall back to third, and we've got a new leader, Earl Andretti, in that number 69 car. But Rich Pratchard at 86, he's looking to his inside now. And 86 is going to try for the lead. No doing it there, but Frank Wade comes back on his outside. He's going to come back. Caught that draft, got the momentum, and now the 5 is back in the picture. Put him up to P2. Basher Craven's still running 4th. Brian Delp Jr.'s moved his way up into 5th in that number 8 machine. Just a few laps ago, we were talking about him running about 12th or 15th. It's a nice run for that number 8 machine this evening. Bobby Leo Moxon right there running 6th. We got to battle a little bit further back from them guys. I'm guessing around P10. Where Dustin Slider and that number 15 and that number 24 machine and Zachary Taylor are going at it. Now Slider's got Casper Hagelscar in the 18 who's falling back. Oh, the Slider's falling quick. Something happened. Something's going on with that 15 car, but he is definitely dropping like a rock at the moment. He gets back in line and picks himself back up. Car looks a little slick right now. Still 2 and 3 wide across the racetrack here at Michigan, which is definitely wide enough to do so. Wonder when we'll start seeing our first car dip off on the pit road. These cars, it's definitely hot out here this afternoon. Track temp looks like it's over 114 degrees. So these drivers definitely got hot and slick conditions that they're running with. And it's definitely starting to show. Look at the 21. That's your second place in points, Ben Shelton. He was your fast mover from last week. Moved up from starting in the back of the field and finished 3rd. Good to see him on the move, making his way up through the pack at this time as well. Still out front, that number 5, Frank Wade. Top 4 pulling away just a little bit from the rest of the pack. And everybody's starting to single file out quite a bit as we have 18 out of 80 laps complete here at Michigan. And there's someone we have not talked about all too much up here with us. It looks like he's running 5th, battling with that number 28 car, David Dunwoody, last week's winner. It's the 127 of Russell Shoemaker. He is up here racing in the top 5. And we haven't really seen him up front all this year. So great run for that number 127 car. At this time, he is being clocked as in 5th, or now 8th position, getting a little, falling a little back there on the outside. Bobby Leo Moxon to his inside with that 82, Dan Harrington on his outside. So he's definitely running in good company. He's definitely running with some fast cars. We'll look to see that 127 stay out front the rest of the day. As we have 20 laps complete, quarter of the way here through Michigan. We are still 3 wide racing through the corners here. And what a sight it is. We got Dougie Zoom on point right now in this number 33 Ford. Running 18th at the moment. Battling with Zach Taylor in that number 24 car. Three wide action behind him. Aiden Davis on the outside in that 3. 27 in the inside. As big dog James in that number 27 car gets a little loose going into turns 3. He's going to fall back a few positions. Rusty Camoli on the outside taking advantage of that. New leader, number 8. Brian Delp Jr. takes the lead from Frank Wade on over the stripe that time by. He's going to get credit for leading that lap, and he's going to take the point, and he's going to run with it. I just have a feeling we're getting single file action out here. That number 8 is fast. We watched him move up from the back of the field, back 20 or so 5th place. I didn't actually get to see this whole full starting grid. But he was definitely outside the top 10, and now we've got him out here, new leader, and he's gaining some time on Frank Wade. These tires are now starting to wear in. They're starting to get to the point where we're going to start seeing some guys fall off. We're going to start seeing some guys who've been saving tires kind of come to the front. There's Casper Hagelscar in 4th. He fell back a little bit and gained his spots right back up. It's good to see him back up front here. And running 3rd, that's Rich Pratchard in that 86 machine, battling the outside of Frank Wade. Can't get her done, gonna look down the inside as Casper Hagelscar comes to his outside. Tries to take that 3rd spot away from him. Earl Andretti in that number 69, still running 5th, having a great run for that number 69 car. See that 96 car, Borto Demora. He's popping his nose in there. He's running 8th place. Nice solid run in the top 10. You see Dustin Slater racing to his outside in that number 15. He's having a good run for himself as well. Good to see that he gained himself back after that momentum shift. So it looks like we definitely, if you lose some momentum here and you fall back some spots, doesn't seem like it's too critical or too hindering, other than possibly wearing on their tires a little bit more, working their way back up towards the front. You got your points leader, Austin Knight, showing 15th place right now, having a pretty decent run for himself. He's kind of hung towards the back the last couple races and then moved himself up towards the front when the time was critical and time was right. Finished 2nd place twice when he won 1 race. So it's been pretty interesting to see how he's been doing. Riding along on that nose cam, Dougie Zoom running 17th place. Got a nice little gap for fresh air in front of him. Up to that number 92 car, Bobby Liam Moxon. And behind him, he's got that 64, Rusty Camoli, trying to draft him. And Javier Vasquez coming in right behind him. And look at Brian Delp Jr. He's got a half a second lead over Frank Wade in that number 5 car now. The 82 car in second place. 18 and Casper Hagelscar in 4th. Sorry, the 82 is in 3rd place. Casper Hagelscar is in 4th. And it looks like the number 127 of Russell Shoemaker is going to round out your top 5. Having a great run for that 127 car. Starting to single file away out through the field. As you see, Brian Delp Jr. has got over a half a second lead now. Frank Wade trying to gain the gap, but that he's got that drafting partner with that 82. I have to imagine that those two are gonna catch that 8 car if they keep working together like that. And we've got another 4 car field being led by Casper Hagelscar just a little bit further back. But these guys are all dipping and diving for positions as well. Russell Shoemaker, that 5th spot being underserved for Rich Pratchard, that number 86. He's looking hard. We are now at lap number 30 here. Pit stop's got to be coming here, I'd have to say, in the next 15, 20 laps. I can't imagine them waiting too much longer past halfway if they can make it all the way on fuel. If they can't, I have to imagine they'd be stopping here very shortly. Bobby Leo Moxon taking a chance, running in the middle, trying to make it 3 wide. He's not going to make it stick. Going to hold on the outside. Basher Craven right behind him, trying to give him a little push. And there's David Dunwoody, last week's leader. New paint scheme on that number 28 car. Running 12th right now. Working on Dustin Slider, who's up there running 11. For the tires being worn as they are, I'm still surprised to see as much side-by-side racing that's going on. And look at that group of cars racing. We're 3 wide in the back coming out of turn number 4. It looks like Rocco Stallone on the inside, the number 99, Wilhelm Layton on the outside. That 87, Buzzman to the inside of that 3 wide. They all keep it straight. But with these tires, I was really surprised we didn't see someone get into them there. 31 laps complete here out of 80, being the distance we're going tonight. The track is actually cooling off, which is going to help these drivers get a little bit more grip. And oh man, the 11, Cody Bullock makes a daring move 3 wide through the middle, and he's going to shoot the gap. Take the spot over from the 57. Still got that 87 Buzzman on the inside. He's got some help from the 57. That's Fox Highwind on the outside, and those two are going to take over that position from the 87. Side by side, Zachary Taylor and the number 7, Basher Craven. That is for 13th place. The number 7's been up front quite a few times over the last couple races, and he's definitely trying to keep a nice top 10 run. He's running 15th at the moment. With that 24 getting the best of him. And he gets loose going into 1. That's going to lose him a little bit of time. Rusty Camoli's going to look to take opportunity of that. And it looks like these guys are starting to get loose. Tires are starting to wear out, which means pit stops are coming soon. Taking a look at Borto Demora running P5 in that number 96 machine. Having a great run for him. And out front, Brian Delp Jr., still your leader, now has over a second gap on Frank Wade in the number 5. Behind him, he's got a pack of cars coming, but man, look at that 8 jump away from these guys. Just, he's got some speed in that car there. Draft don't need nothing for him. See what his last lap time is here. It's going to be a 41.093 is what he's running. We'll have to go take a look at Frank Wade, see what kind of lap times Frank Wade is running. 41.093 is Brian Delp Jr. And it looks like his last lap was a 41.095, so it looks like they're running about the same lap times. Just that 8 must have saved some more tire than what he thought. So about 2/10 slower on that lap than the one we looked at for Brian Delp. And we're taking a look at Frank Wade. He's got a challenger to his outside. Dan Harrington looking for second. Maybe that's why Brian Delp Jr. is getting away. These two guys are battling for second place instead of running them down. You see Berto Demora, he's got his car out to 4th. And Rich Pratchard in that 86 has got his car up to 5th. And look who's behind Casper Hagelskar in 12th. Austin Knight in that 210. Car looks strong. He is moving his way on up. Underneath the number 9 car, Patrick Manning, and the 40 of Doug Britton. But he's going to fall back, lose a little bit of momentum. Slider and Moxon are going to get by. Dunwoody is going to try to get by as well. I think they're going to be side by side through 3. No, that 210's falling back hard. 38 laps complete here now at Michigan. Almost halfway. As we take a peek at Eagle Madavi there in that camel-powered Chevrolet. Beautiful paint scheme on that number 88. He's running 21st at the moment. Battling with a number 68 car. That's Gunny. Gunny in that number 68. And that marine-powered Toyota. Still looking to see that all 36 drivers are on track and on the lead lap, which tells me no one's had an incident quite yet. So it's definitely been an awesome green flag run. And we are now at lap number 40. When we complete this next lap, we will be halfway here at Michigan. And we will do a through the field. Currently, that number 82 is getting hung out to dry on the outside. Lost a little bit of momentum. His cars are starting to get slick. Brian Delp Jr., still your leader. He's got a second over top of that second place car, which is now Frank Wade. And as we come across the stripe, we are halfway. Brian Delp Jr. is in your top spot. He has led the last 10 to 15 laps. I haven't actually got data in front of me to tell me that, but he has led quite a few laps now. Running second is that number 5, Frank Wade. Now running third, that number 82 machine, Dan Harrington. With that 96, Berto Demora. Running 4th. In 5th place, it looks like it's that number 40. Oh no, it's that 127, Russell Shoemaker running 5th. And I'm having a hard time seeing the numbers here. Casper Hagelskar running 6th in that number 18 machine. Running in 7th, right behind Casper Hagel's car, is, I can't see his number. So, looks like the 86 of Richard Pratchard. Running in 9th place looks to be the number 15. Nope, 8th place, number 15 of Dustin Slater. 9th place, that 40 of Doug Britton. And in 10th place, that 28, David Dunwoody. Should be seeing pit stops anytime now. 43 laps in. 36 more to go. Coming to the straight. Brian Delt Jr. still over a second lead over top of Dan Harrington, that number 82 machine. He's got Berto De Moya in the 96 below him. Move that number 90. Oh, no, he's going to get on the brakes hard going into 1. And that's going to leave 3rd place for Schumacher. That number 127 is going to work over the back bumper, that number 82, and that's going to let Dan Harrington pull. Dan Harrington's got over a second and a half on these guys. Oh. That graphic is totally off. That's a second and a half back now from the leader. Now, these guys battling side by side is letting Brian Delt Jr. gain to almost a 2-second lead. But we're going to see green flag pit stops probably coming in here soon unless we get a caution in the next few laps. 46 laps in here. Getting to crunch time, getting to setup time. We'll have to see what these guys do, see if they make any changes. See if we have a new front runner when we get everything sorted out. It doesn't look like anybody's going to pit road this time by. Oh no, our leader goes to pit road. Dan Harrington assumes the lead in that number 82. Brian Delt Jr., our first car on pit road. And we'll have to see if that helps him or not. That's a short pit strategy. We'll have to see if anybody else comes this time by. But one car came to pit road. Brian Delt Jr. must have some confidence in that machine. See if Dan Harrington or anybody else is going to come to the service of their crew. I don't see anybody in the top bunch. Oh, we do got Frank Wade coming down. Frank Wade's going to be your number 2 pitter. And with lead Brian Delt Jr. had over Dan Harrington. Harrington is hoping for nothing but a caution right now. And that would secure him in the lead 4 pit stops if that happened. He's got a half a second lead over that number 96 car. Russell Shoemaker in 3rd place. Rich Pratchard in 4th, and Casper Hagel's car is running 5th. Oh, and here comes Dan Harrington to the pit road. 96, Britton's down, Casper's down. A whole field of cars coming down pit road this time by. A few cars staying out still. The back pack looking to get a little bit of strategy in here. Maybe try to get a little bit further on what they got. Dustin Slater stays out and assumes the lead with David Dunwoody on his backside. See if Slater's going to lead that lap. It looks like these two are going to be coming down to... Oh, yep, these two are both coming down to pit road this time as well. Along with Basher Craven, Dougie Zoom, and the rest of the field. So this is going to cycle us through qualifying or through pit stops. Green flag the whole way here. And we are now looking who's going to be our leader. It's got to be that number 8 of Brian Delp Jr. He's going to have to cycle around and become our leader. As he crosses the start-finish line, it's already showing him up in 9th. As he passes Dustin Slater, your leader is once again Brian Delp Jr. in that number 88. And he has got fresh tires, a full 2 laps over top of the field, and he has definitely got a gap over top of Dan Harrington in that 82 being the second car that pit. Oh, sorry, the number 5 car. The 5 car, Frank Wade, was the second car to pit. Coming around this time, we'll have to see how everything sorts out. Brian Delp Jr. goes to the top of the charts. Maybe that wasn't Frank Wade that came to the pits, but Dan Harrington is up in second. And he is now over 5.5 seconds. Nope, that just came down now. 5 seconds back from Brian Delp Jr. at the moment. So that ought to make it very, very interesting for the end of this race. Our Muerto de Moya running 3rd place in that number 96. He's got a drafting partner. He is in probably the best spot you could possibly be with 28 more laps to go. But after these green flag pit stops, after these, well, we got some fresh tires, we're going to give you a chance to go ahead and crank it up. As we come back, we take a look at Dan Harrington running second. He's got that gap down to Brian Delp Jr. down to 3.2 seconds. We'll see if he gains it up another 3 seconds. Now they're within 3 seconds of Brian Delp Jr. running first. Bartow in that number 96 still running third. Trying to chase him down. In fourth place at number 5, Frank Wade. Seen him up front all day, having a great run in that number 5 Ford. And in fifth place, or pole sitter, that number 18, Casper Hagelscar. He's 2 seconds behind Frank Wade in that number 5. And he brings along a few cars along with him. That number 85, that's the 86 car, Rich Pratchard. And David Dunwoody and Austin Knight battling side by side there for 8th and 9th. Sorry, 7th and 8th. 9th place is that number 9 car, Patrick Manning. And rounding out our top 10 is that number 15, Dustin Slider. Having a good run for that Ford Mustang. Gunny's right behind him at 11th in that number 68 machine. Gunny having a great run for him. He's 6th in the points right now. So running top 12, that's going to give him a nice points day as well. Running back in 12th is that number 127, Russell Schumacher. And behind him is the number 7 car, Basher Craven, and the 92, Bobby Leo Moxon. Eagle Davi in that number 88 machine. He's running 15th at the moment. Having a pretty decent run for that number 88 machine. Still got a battle for second place. These guys have got Brian Delp Jr.'s lead down to just over 2 seconds now. But these guys battling side by side is not going to help that at all. As Berto De Moya goes down to the inside in that 96, he ain't going to make it work. Harrington's going to hold on to that top groove. But Frank Wade at number 5, here he comes. 4th position. He's catching on to the draft of these guys, and he's got something to say to these two. Coming to the stripe, leading this baby. 60 laps in, 20 more laps to go here at Michigan. And anything can happen. They've got his lead down to 2 seconds. 2.2 seconds for the lead over Dan Harrington. It was about 6 seconds. So these guys are catching Brian Delp Jr., but he is just riding out front, saving his tires, having a good time leading this race. Still no incidents on track. Still all 36 drivers running at this time, which is definitely good. Ben Shelton, our second place in point standings, is having a pretty horrible run for his number 21 machine. He is down in 31st place. Just trying to hang on here at Michigan. Finished 3rd place last week at Kansas with a overall was the car that moved up the most positions throughout the race. So he's your fast mover, if you call him. Moved up, I believe he said he started 36th place and finished 3rd. So he started all the way at the back and finished 3rd here at Kansas. But here at Michigan, he's struggled a little bit, running 30th place, looking to improve his luck in the last 20 laps. And there we take a look at another driver who had a pretty decent run last week. Michael Bussell led the most laps at Kansas. Pit stop strategy thought was going to take him out of it, and He came back and a little bit up front, but ended up having some issues a little bit later on, and he didn't have the greatest finish. It was a 7th place finish last week, so he led the most laps and was trying to have something good. Still pulled out a respectable finish, but definitely not something that he was hoping for. Running back in 35th, Josh Edmondson in 36th, the number 58 car, 18 seconds back from the leader. So still not too bad. He's not falling into the clutches of lap territory quite yet, but nonetheless, still just running out there by himself behind the field. With all this side-by-side battling, they've let it get up to over 3 seconds again to the leader, Brian Delt Jr. 65 laps in here when we cross the stripe. We'll have 15 more laps to go here at Michigan International Speedway. And while there's not a whole lot going on, we're going to give you one more chance to crank it up. Delt Jr.'s lead almost to 4 seconds now over Dan Harrington and Berko de Moya. David Dunwoody in that number 28 car has moved himself up to 4th position. Fighting with that number 210 of Austin Knight, who's moved himself up there as well. Now 210 up in the top 5 would come into 11 more laps to go here at Michigan. Things are starting to heat up here. Patrick Manning on the outside. He's 7th place in points. He's looking for a great run as well. He moves up into the top 5, battling with that 210. Got a battle going on right now between Dougie Zoom and Eagle Madavi in that number 88 machine for 15th place. Back up to your leaders. Dan Harrington still in second. Berto De Moya in third. Frank Wade. Oh no, Frank Wade is now taking over third from Berto De Moya. And Austin Knight is in there trying to make up the ground between them guys to fifth. 3.2 seconds the gap between Dan Harrington and Brian Delp Jr. 10 more laps to go. Don't think we'll be seeing any more pit stops here unless we see a caution. We might see some guys take some risks. Who knows? With 9 more laps to go. Brian Delp Jr. still your leader by 3.3 seconds over Dan Harrington in that number 82 machine. And number 5, Frank Wade, running third. Berto De Moya in that 96, he's in fourth. 210 of Austin Knight, he's still running fifth. In sixth place is very contested right now. Currently, Rich Pratchard has it. Patrick Manning wants it. So Richard Pratchard being shown 6th. Patrick Manning being shown 9th. Casper Hagelstar in 10th. And David Dunwoody in 11th. David Dunwoody, third place in points at the moment, running P9. And this track temperature is getting cooler and cooler, so these guys are going to keep getting more and more grip as this race progresses. And there we see your leader, Brian Delp Jr., 3.8 seconds, the gap between Dan Harrington. Having a flawless race. Started towards the back, worked his way up. And here he is leading the race. 6 more laps to go here at Michigan. As you see Austin Knight slowly but surely creeping up on these guys. He's got something to say about this. He's not going to sit by and finish P5. He's going to come in. He's going to try to take this second place position away again. As he closes in on the 96. The 82 and 96 get side by side. That's going to give the momentum to the 210. He's going to look to the inside of Dan Harrington coming down to the stripe. 5 more to go here at Michigan, and we've got a 3-way battle for second. Berto De Moya in the 96 has got it. Austin Knight looking to take third from Harrington. And that's going to open up the door for Rich Pratchard to come in and join the battle. And 86 is coming. It's now opened the lead up to 4 seconds for Brian Delp Jr. Now we're going to go 3 wide into turn 3. That's not going to happen. Rich Pratchard's going to come try to take the middle. 3 wide through 3 and 4. Coming to 4 laps to go. Rich Pratchard moves that number 86 machine up into second. Berto De Moya in third. Austin Knight in fourth. Dan Harrington in fifth. Here comes Patrick Manning in that number 9. He's got something to say in sixth. And while these guys keep racing like this, 4.6 seconds ahead, Brian Delp Jr. is cruising away with it. Berto's going to look to the inside of that number 86 machine. He's going to try to take second going into 3. That's going to leave the door open for the 82 on the outside, but the 96 keeps it going on the end. No position change here for this one. 3 more laps to go here at Michigan, and things are really starting to heat up. Patrick Manning looks to the inside of Dan Harrington. Austin Knight dives it into the center. You'd almost think this was for the win, but no. 4.5 seconds ahead. Brian Delp Jr. in that number 8, having one flawless race for himself. As he comes out of turn number 4, popsicle sticks are in the air. 2 more to go for your leader, Brian Delp Jr. Back to your second place battle. We have got 3 cars within 0.1 of each other, side by side, nose to nose. Rich Pratchard has it. Third place now, Dan Harrington in the number 82. Austin Knight still stuck back in 5th, doesn't know whether to go high or low. He's going to take that 82 on the high side, and Patrick Manning in that 9 is going to take him 3 wide going into turn 3. White flag in the air for your leader. 1 more lap to go for Brian Delp Jr. as he crosses the stripe. 2 more miles to go. And the battle's heating up in the back, but we're going to watch this last lap on your leader. Brian Delp Jr. has had a wonderful race. I can't even tell you how many laps he's led, but he has led so many laps. Worked his way up from the back. Had no incidents, no problems. And now he's got 2 more turns to seal the deal as week number 3's winner here at Michigan International Speedway. Give it up for him, ladies and gentlemen. Coming out of turn 4, your winner here at Michigan International Speedway, Brian Delp Jr. Coming in second place. Is it going to be? It's Berto De Moya coming home second. Dan Harrington coming home third. Austin Knight in 4th. Rich Pratchard 5th. Frank Wade coming home 6th. Patrick Manning coming home 7th. Casper Hagelscar in 8th. David Dunwoody in 9th. Rounding out your top 10 is that number 68 Marine-powered Chevrolet. That's Gunning. Dustin Slider in 11th. Basher Craven in 12th. Young Ling pulling out a 13th place position today. 14th is Bobby Leo Moxon. 15th, Russell Schumacher. That number 16th position was Eagle Madavi. 17th was Dougie Zoom. 18th, Doug Britton. And then 19th. That is going to be the number 57 car of Fox Highwinds. He's going to come home 19th and rounding out your top 20, the number 23 car, Jordan Hack. For everybody up here at ESL, the Esports Simulation League, we want to thank you for coming out tonight and supporting us. We really appreciate it. And we will see you next week at Charlotte. How did my call-in go? Did it sound good? Dude, you cannot